Myles Jack is no longer a Jacksonville Jaguar. He was selected 36th overall in the 2016 NFL Draft and was a part of one of the greatest draft classes in Jacksonville Jaguars history. Without him, without Jalen, without Unique, I don't think 2017 happens the way it happens. I don't think we make that massive run to the AFC Championship game. But that AFC Championship game really solidified what was a hell of a thing that the Jaguars had going. And it also started a huge cult-like movement that the Jags had against NFL officiating. Jaguars fans were coming left and right. I remember the 2018 game against the Patriots. That was the revenge game. That was how everyone looked at it. That was how the players looked at it, the coaches looked at it, the fans. And honestly, you could say the league looked at it that way. It was billed as a revenge game. And thankfully, we were able to beat the hell out of them in that revenge game. And it was a great game to watch. But ultimately, he really never did become the Pro Bowler and the All-Pro that many Jaguars fans thought he would have become, following that 2017 season. I remember he had the amazing interception in the divisional round against the Steelers. There were just so many great memories I have about Myles Jack in a Jaguars uniform. When you think of the Jaguars on defense, especially in that run, was their health. Myles Jack was relatively reliable and healthy. I believe he's missed like a half dozen games in his 6-year career in the NFL. He was a dependable tackler. He's eclipsed 100 tackles combined for 3 different times in his career. I think, whenever you're batting 500, that's not bad at all when you're talking about getting 100 tackles plus out of your linebackers. Unfortunately, he does become a cap casualty. The team saves about $8 million total, but unfortunately with a dead cap hit of about $5 million, the Jaguars are really just saving about $3 million. Ultimately, but this move does bump them back up into the 20s in total cap space allowed right now. This is a great move for my opinion because it opens up space to go get somebody else. That $3 million doesn't seem like a lot, but when you think about who is still left available out there, you can get a lot of other key defensive players. I think they're absolutely needing a third corner. I don't think anyone they have on the roster is capable of being a competent third. Obviously Tyson's going to be probably your 1. Shaq's going to be your 2. And then if you can go get, maybe a Dante Jackson who really, really thrives in his own scheme, which is what the Jaguars played last year whenever the defense started to really step up. Maybe Darius Williams out of Los Angeles. He really showed a lot of promise. And then obviously there's Chandler Jones. I've been beating the Chandler Jones drum. They have the money and they've shown that they want to pay it, and they want them to sign. So they have the money. Go get another big fish. Obviously, there's a reason some of these big fish haven't signed. Allen Robinson, Teron Armstead, Von Miller, Chandler Jones, Allen Robinson. And the best part about these moves is that they're not going to affect next year's cap all that much, really. The Jaguars are predicted to have over $70 million going into 2023. So, in my opinion, it was going to have to be Linder or it was going to have to be Jack. Both of them couldn't survive with the cap hits that they had. As Linder's free money. It's almost like a free $10 million if you release Brandon Linder, but you make in my opinion, a bigger hole. I think Shaq Quarterman played well. Obviously, if they're cutting Myles, they think they have something in Dylan Moses, Shaq Quarterman. I'm excited to see what they do with that front 7. Obviously, they're rebuilding the front 7. They've signed a couple interior defensive linemen. They signed a middle linebacker. They cut their will linebacker. So it's going to look like a very different front 7. And honestly, I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to have a lot of more free agency news coming down the pipeline here in a couple days. And then right after that, we go straight into the draft. So make sure you subscribe and like the video as it helps the Fan Cave community grow immensely. And I love hanging out with you guys. Stay safe and go Jaguars.
How about them Jags?